Alright everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. I hope you're all well on this Saturday. Tonight's video is going to be my 2020 season review for the Canberra Raiders. So I'm going to be going through some of their big moments, talking about some of the players, some of the matches, and I'm going to be doing that video very shortly. But before I do, I'd just like to say, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and you share the videos and get it out there. I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of the month. I'm at 272 at the moment. So I need your help in getting to 300, and I think we can get there. So I'm hoping by the end of the month to get 300 subscribers. Now, some people might also ask, why am I wearing a hat inside? Well, I live in England. It does get cold, and why not? I just feel like wearing a hat in this video. So if you don't like it, too bad. So anyways, back to the Canberra season review. Now, before the season started, I predicted Canberra to come fourth on the table. They ended up coming fifth. They had a win record of 14 wins and 6 losses for the year. The last 10 games, though, very impressive. 8 wins and 2 losses. And the for and against was 128 plus. Now, Canberra started the year off great. They had 3 wins to start the year off. They got off to a red hot start. They looked good. And then unfortunately, along the way, they had some injuries. They had injuries to Josh Hodgson. They had John Bateman was out for a bit like. Corey Osprey, he got injured in the Parramatta game. Bailey Simonson, you had all the court keeper with Kate Scott and all that. She had some other injuries as well. Now, as I said at the back end of the year, an 8-win and 2-loss record. I think that was a really good way to end the year. I thought that they timed their run to the finals perfectly. The last match of the year, they had a chance to finish in the top 4. They pretty much played a Mount Pritchard Mount East team against Cronulla. In that final round, they got the job done. And for about 5 minutes or so, they were in the top 4. And Parramatta won their match against West Tigers. They dropped down and they finished 5th. In the finals, they disposed of both Cronulla Sutherland in the first week of the finals quite easily. Then they played against Eastern Suburbs, Sydney Roosters, in the second week of the finals. Grand final rematch, part 3. And on this occasion, they come out on top. And then they set up the preliminary final with Melbourne. Now, if you watch me preliminary final tipping video, I said if Canberra was to have any chance of winning that match against Melbourne, they had to have a good start, because that's one way to beat Melbourne. You have to get out of the blocks early, you have to match them set to set. And unfortunately for Canberra, they went down 24-0 early on. They did well in the second half to keep it reasonably respectable. Melbourne, I think, only scored 1 try in the last 50 minutes of the game, and Canberra got 2 tries. But that ended their year at the preliminary final stage, just short of the grand final stage. Now, if I was to go through, I think, some of their best wins of the year, if I was to go through some wins that I think Canberra would be proud of, would definitely be round 3 against Melbourne. They went down there and they totally outclassed Melbourne. They won 22 points to 6. And then also, I think their win earlier in the year over Eastern Suburbs, and then to back that up in the semi-final and beat Eastern Suburbs, knock out the 2-time defending premiers, I think would have been the highlight of the year for them, along with the Melbourne win, because for so long Canberra had been wanting to get some revenge on East for what happened in the grand final last year, and they finally did it at the Sydney Cricket Ground. So a great win for Canberra. And for their lowest moments of the year, looking at the losses that they had, they didn't have too many bad losses, but I definitely see round 4, they were beaten 34 points to 18 against Newcastle. That wasn't a particularly good win for them, good loss for them. And then also, as I mentioned, the preliminary final, to have such a good year and then to show up on one of the biggest stages, and pretty much their season was undone by just a really bad start to a game. And unfortunately, that's just rugby league sometimes, and sport in general. Sometimes you can be playing quite well, and then all it takes is just one bad game or one passage of a game, and season's done. And unfortunately, that 20 to 30 minute spell against Melbourne in that first half just ruined the year for them and cost them a place in the grand final. Now, going through some of the stats of the players, Nick Kotrick, he finished the year with 14 tries, top try scorer. George Williams, 15 try assists. The run meters went to Charles Nicholl clock stats, and well, the run meters and the runs both went to Charles Nicholl clock stats. The line breaks went to Nick Kotrick, and I think in terms of who had a good year for Canberra, I think most of their team had a good year. I think Jared Croker had a good year. Nick Kotrick, George Williams, good first year coming from here in England to go to Australia. Big ass, did that quite well. John Bateman, Josh Papali, Joseph Tarpany. I think everyone stepped up this year. I think everyone in that Canberra side can see that they did have a good year. There's been a bit of talk. Would they have made the grand final? Would they have won the premiership with Josh Hodgson if he didn't get injured? Who knows? I mean, that's going to be up for debate for the coming months and maybe the coming years. Would they have won the premiership? Would it have made a difference if Josh Hodgson would have been there? Tom Starling was there. I don't really watch too many Canberra games, but I think by all reports, Tom Starling did a really great job in replacing Josh Hodgson. But that's just going to be the £1 million question, or in Australian terms, $1 million question. Would Canberra have made the final or won the premiership with Josh Hodgson there? And I can't really give you an answer for that one. He's obviously a very integral member of the team, but I think when he went down injured, everyone else rose to the occasion. I think for all you Canberra fans watching this video, I think you shouldn't be too disappointed. Even though you did get knocked out in the preliminary final stage, I think you can look back at the year with some pride, and you can be proud of the club for what they've achieved. And looking at my crystal ball for next year, I think they're going to be back up there again, Canberra. I think they're going to be top 4 or just outside the top 4 for next year. The grand final loss, and then this loss, I think, is really going to spur them on again for next year. They're going to try to go one better for next year, and I think they've still got the squad. I think they've still got the squad to be premiership contenders, or a team that can challenge for the premiership. So that's me 2020 season review for Canberra. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, click that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, get the videos out there and get supporting the channel. And don't forget to go on Facebook and Instagram as well. I've got pages there. I post some photos and some other stuff, facts and memorabilia and all that keep, so go check that out if you have some spare time. Anyways, everyone, I'm going to leave you now, and I'll be back tomorrow with the Numpty of the Week award, so stay tuned. Alright, catch us all later. Ta-bye.